All right, and we're back. We're recording this on Tuesday, the 11th of February. And you already know it's your number one Oos Cal, aka Lisi, aka Super Rugby's back, baby. The $5 multi is about to heat up. We're about to get some right. Today I'm joined by Nathan, aka Easy Does It. How you going?
What up? What up? I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me, man. It's good to be back. I mean, feels like we haven't done a pod in forever, right?
Yep, that is true. Apologies to our listeners. We weren't able to get one out last week, but main thing is we're back, and for the
Yeah.
last few weeks we've been saying that our multis have been falling short because the rugby season hasn't started yet. So there's a lot of pressure on us to get back in the winning margin this week.
Yeah. And there's a lot of match fixing going on as well, eh? That's why we're failing our multis, man. You
Wait,
know?
rugby or are we going straight to the UFC?
Hey?
Just with the match fixing here. We're talking the rugby or the UFC?
Oh, mate, it's match fixing is prevalent everywhere, man. That's why the Blues keep dropping the ball all the time, man.
Yeah, the Blues. Well, like I've always said, I think I've said it a few times in previous pods, but rugby really needs to get their player props up the way the NFL does.
What do you mean?
Like, if you could bet on how many passes Richie Mo'unga is going to make in a game, or
Oh, okay.
what region of goal kicking percentage
Yeah.
kickers are going to finish on.
Because it's mostly it's just all about tries, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, mostly just tries in there, but yeah, you want to be able to take a punt on those other stats like tackles and um, you know run meters or break tackles. That'll be cool.
Yeah, because there's some bona fide bets out there that guaranteed money like um, over under whether Ryan Crotty makes it to the end of the game without getting injured. You- Tuipulotu over under how many knock-ons he's gonna do in a game, which is he's guaranteed one.
Akira Ioane, how many times he's gonna put his hands on his hips?
Or how many fights he's gonna try and start per game.
Right. Imagine if you could have bet on like Sonny Bill when he was playing rugby, like over under how many offloads he put in.
Yeah, see, these are the kind of player props that's why we need to start our own betting agency so that people can cash in on these things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But then I know there's some people that I know, like this guy Yikitel. He just doesn't gamble responsibly. So
Oh,
if we open up those avenues, some people would go homeless. The way that they're placing unnecessary bets.
look, that's fair, but one of the quotes I live by is a sucker's money is never theirs. So if he's not going to waste it on multis, he's going to waste it on something else. And if I know anything about that Yikitao guy, I think it's the same one that I'm thinking of. He's always causing trouble down at McDonald's.
Hey, yeah, that's
That's
definitely
one.
him. Yeah,
Yeah. Thought that might be the one.
yeah.
Uh,
McDonald's in New Zealand, McDonald's overseas in Thailand, but
he's infamous.
yes, very much.
We we'll jump into this week's big one. Obviously, with the Super Rugby coming back, we weren't able to touch on last week's pod because we didn't have one. But it's week 2 of the Super Rugby. Have you had any thoughts about how teams are tracking at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's only a couple weeks in,
Yeah.
so yeah, you kind of want to get like maybe 5 games in before you can start forming your opinions on teams. But it's only
About hot takes.
mate. I'm all about being sensible. You're the hot take guy. Yeah, you do the hot takes, and I'll put you in your place, man. You're Skip. I'm Shannon,
Hold on, Skip.
man. Yeah, but it's too early. I think there are some things that I'm thinking about that, but it's just too early. Like such as I think Cruden's looked pretty good in his first couple of games back.
Yep.
So he just turned 31, but if he keeps playing really well throughout the season, do you think he gets a call up or?
Oh, mate. First hot take of the year. Cruden is going to be
Hot take. I asked a question. I asked a question for you to answer. Yeah.
first All Black game. Cruden's in the number 22 jersey.
But yeah, like the first couple of weeks, it's just been some strange choices that we'll probably get into as we discuss the games, like such as Joshua Anu playing at second
Yeah.
five.
We'll jump into that game because that was probably the one. Like they had the Highlanders that is had a bye in week one.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the Rugby Bricks podcast.
Hmm.
If anyone hasn't listened to it, I'll definitely get onto it. It's a great podcast. But they've had Tony Brown was on, and
Yep.
just like the smarts that he has, I was like, man, I was really looking forward to this game. And in my fantasy draft that I had on Thursday, I tried to draft as many Highlanders as possible because I thought, these guys, they're just going to be your working class team. And then they come out and get annihilated.
Yeah, they got flogged 42-20 at home.
Yeah.
First game of the season. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. But I think for them is like in the first half, um, yeah, I don't know. Like the Sharks look good. Like they were putting on some like Harlem Globetrotters kind of tries,
Yeah.
And then the Highlanders just gave up a try under the sticks just before halftime, and that kind of like set them back
Yeah.
a big deal. So yeah, it was always going to be tough for them to come back from there. I think it was like the Sharks put on like 27.
Yeah, it was
Right, so.
because Highlanders got the first penalty, 3 points, and then
Mhm.
Sharks put on 27 consecutive points to end the first half, and then there's really for an inexperienced team, there's really no coming back from a deficit like that. But it was funny because I drafted a Fele Fassi from the Sharks, who is a fantastic athlete, and he's like starting to gain experience at the fullback position. But I thought I'll start the Highlanders fullback.
Oh,
Mackay.
unlucky Hoos.
Yeah, and then Fassi ended up scoring.
Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah, he was the guy that I noticed. Like I had no idea who he was, but when I seen him doing what he's doing on the field,
Yeah,
just toying with the Highlanders, I was like, man, this
yeah,
guy's a monster.
yeah.
So
He had a crazy game. And like, how long do you reckon they'll persist with Hunt at 10 if they continue to lose?
uh, I think you got to have a short leash on that, eh? I think if they're not getting results within, by this weekend or the next,
Yeah,
then I think you got to revert back to, what worked for, well, in Joanna's case, what worked well for him. He made the All Blacks playing first five. So, um, yeah, it's a bit of a strange move.
yeah,
Yeah, for, a guy that was seen as like the third string first five kind of for the All Blacks to just be put out of position. But if they keep getting the beats like they did on the weekend, then I don't think that this experiment will last too long.
yeah. No, I agree. And like, it's not just for me, Ioane being at 10 or not at 10, but when he's at 10, they have Tompkinson and Walden in the centers.
Uh-huh.
And that's a dynamic. core for your backline. Not that the game's won in the backline, but that backline offers more than what they showed on the weekend. But yeah, I guess in the forwards they just got completely dominated as well.
Yeah, I saw Shannon Frizzell was coming off the bench.
Yeah,
Is that just a tactic or I
yeah,
don't.
because I don't think he fell under the All Black resting policy, um, which is ridiculous in itself anyway. Like none of these guys, apart from like the experienced All Blacks, should be rested. I think it's something
Yeah.
Tony Brown came out with this week saying that in the past it's cost Malachi Fekitoa and Squire and All Blacks jerseys because they've had to rest games where they didn't really need to be rested, and
Mm-hmm.
their form wasn't enough to get them into the All Blacks.
Yeah, I agree. I think that should be looked at. Hopefully, yeah, your boy Ian Foster,
Hey, hey.
you know, kind of brings that point up, and maybe they can look into it and just tinker with the idea.
Yeah, because I think what Brown was saying was instead of making it a blanket rule where all Blacks have to sit out, 60 minutes or whatever it is, let's make each one case by case.
Yeah, 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 for sure. And then also take the players' opinion into account. If they're feeling good and they really want to play, like,
Mm.
and everything checks out, like they passed the fitness test, the physical and whatnot, then
Yeah,
why not? Why not let them have a run?
yeah, no, I agree. Um, another the big one that I wanted to touch on was the Blues touching up the Waratahs.
Oh, I I I feel it was a little deceiving though because
Yeah,
it was the Blues won 32-12, but it was 20-12 with just a few minutes to go,
yeah.
and then Taleo got those two tries to complete the hat trick. But,
You know, I had Afele Fassi on my fantasy bench, and next to him on the bench was Mark Tiller.
oh really? Oh
Yeah,
man,
just a rubbish week.
he trash man, just like our fantasy.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I had Will Jordan in his place, so I don't think
Oh okay.
Mark Tiller over Will Jordan.
What did he score last week? He would have been all right last week. Got a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
tries.
he was one of the top scorers of the round last week.
Nice.
But yeah, the Blues looked really good. Like their forward pack is really starting to sort of show their class.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they had Tu'unukuafe back in
Yeah, starting right.
jersey. Yeah. So yeah, that was good to see him. He sort of showing the form that got him into the All Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
They put Goodhue in at one lock, which meant that I
Yeah.
didn't see my favorite ranger.
Yeah, yeah. Um, he was benched for the game, eh?
Yeah.
So
I mean, we eventually got to see a little bit of him, but uh,
yeah,
the more Robinson, the better, I think.
yeah, I think so too.
But
He's a great.
outside of that, I thought Sututu had another fantastic game.
Mm-hmm. You see
I'm really,
you see that kick he put in?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
thought that
then,
card that he got
huh?
was soft too.
What'd you say?
I thought the yellow card that he copped was pretty soft. His tackle on Kamako Hunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Did you see what's the Hurricanes guy? Via Fafita. Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see his yellow card from last week? I felt that was a bit harsh too, but
With
I
the
don't
one that,
know. I'm guessing rugby union, their number one priority is player safety. So
yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, they're doing what's they have the players' best interests at
Yeah.
heart. So
And
yeah.
that's something that you'll see a stark contrast when you see the types of tackles that they penalize in rugby union versus what you see in the NRL.
Yes, yeah. I was thinking exactly when I saw Feelers yellow. I was like, man, if that kind of tackle was in the NRL, it would be applauded.
Yeah,
Like people, that would be, you know, played on the highlight reel on
yeah,
social media all week, saying
yeah,
how great a hit that was. But
definitely.
then in rugby union, it's yellow card. It's looked at differently. So,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, I somewhat agree. I agree more the with rugby union going safety first than
yeah.
rugby league just still trying to um,
Bring back the biff.
they're still trying to glorify, bring back the birth and
Yeah.
the shoulder charge and all that.
Nah, sweet. The last game I wanted to touch on with the Super Rugby was the Chiefs versus Crusaders. I think you
Mm.
mentioned that Cruden's come back all class, but that was a masterful performance by everyone in the Chiefs jersey. 1-23 on the weekend.
And so for you, was that a surprise that the Chiefs won? I mean, given
Yeah,
that there was no Monga.
yeah. Like
And,
I still rated the Crusaders to win
yeah,
only because in the first week, the Crusaders put a hiding on the Waratahs, and I
yeah,
thought, like, fair enough, they've lost a lot of experience, but just the system that they're in, they're the New England Patriots of rugby.
yeah. I wasn't really expecting the Chiefs to win either, but yeah, they did really well
Yeah,
to get it done. And they weren't mucking around this time like last week.
yeah,
Where they brought Cruden and Leonard Brown off the bench,
yeah,
and they also had DMAC back
yeah. Making his
at
return.
fullback.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's always going to make a difference
yeah,
to the Chiefs. So
yeah.
yeah,
Because the Crusaders jumped out to an early lead, and I was like, oh man, they're just going to pour on the pressure from here. But if
uh-huh.
you remember the Chiefs game last year, the one they had in Fiji versus the Crusaders, they were down like I think it was like 20 points or something before coming back to win. So another comeback win for them, and they totally dominated the second half.
Yeah. Well, the second half was 17-3 in the Chiefs' favor.
Yeah.
So they basically snuffed out the Crusaders. How do you
Yeah.
think your boy Havili went at 10?
I thought he did okay. He was
Yeah,
serviceable.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
he did it.
laid the first couple of tries for Super Rugby, he laid on for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all good.
Yeah, I definitely think he once the Chiefs turned up in the second half, I think he's like started taking the back seat. Um, and yeah, he wasn't able to gain control again of the game like an experienced 10. I think yeah,
Mm.
real lack of experience there.
Was Monga getting ruled out? Was that like a last minute rule out? Because last I read at the beginning of the week, they were saying that he shouldn't miss any time with this groin injury, and then next thing, yeah, he's not playing, and Havili's being shifted to 10.
I think it was maybe the All Black resting policy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, yeah, but I don't know. It might have been a mixture of like his groin's not 100%. We might as well use this as our resting game.
Yeah, it's true. Well, hopefully they use that resting policy for him next this coming week because the Blues have the Crusaders. So
Yeah,
mm,
that'll be a good game. Or hopefully it's a good game.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
But outside of that, the Chiefs are, they've got what three like Pilfer specialists in their back row in
Hmm.
Carpet, Kane, and Boshier, and Boshier had a crazy game. What 5 turnovers?
Dang,
So
monster.
yeah, like I've actually drafted him in my fantasy team. So pretty happy with his performance.
Yeah. Does how much of The Chiefs' early success do you put down to Gatlin?
Mm, I'd say yeah, a lot of it. Because yeah, like they've had a lot of changes since last season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say he's putting in good structures. Like um, the Chiefs, they're the only undefeated New Zealand team now,
Yeah,
and they what was it the Blues last week? Yeah, the Blues.
yeah.
They had a solid character building win, and then same thing again, comeback win against the Crusaders. So they're one of those teams that just find ways to win games the way that the Blues generally find ways to lose games.
What was your prediction for the Blues early on in one of the early episodes?
I
What
think
was your
I had the Blues
You had him like third, right?
second
Or
or third, yeah.
second or third, yeah. Yeah, it might be true. It might actually happen, eh?
Well,
But
fingers crossed.
only 2 weeks, so we don't
Or
know.
if we're hovering around third by the time Burton Barrett gets back, um, then we'll probably end up fourth because he's shit. Nah.
Hey man, show some respect for the goat.
Third.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. Nah, yeah, no. Burton Barrett. I think people put too much stock in Burton Barrett coming back. Like he's gonna be coming back around week 11. Everyone's gonna be like battle hardened, and he'll be his first game back.
Yeah. If only he brings a halfback with him,
Yeah,
that
that's
would be nice.
we could find a halfback somewhere. I don't know. The Chiefs have two All Black halfbacks. I don't know if we could maybe borrow one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's oh man. It's just we're cursed at 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask Crusaders for Bryn Hall back since he's on the bench.
Well, I got a feeling Bryn Hall would go back to old Bryn Hall and not new and
Yeah.
improved.
Yeah. That's true. I agree with that.
All right. We'll finish up with the rugby, and we'll move into the big fight on the weekend. John Jones 247 versus Rage. What
It's
were your
the
big
real goat. That's the real goat, John Jones. Yeah. I thought Reyes did a lot better than I expected him to be. I thought it was just gonna be a 5 round domination from
yeah
John Jones, but it was really close. So I understand where people are coming from, where they say Reyes won the fight and whatnot.
yeah that's what I say.
What I don't agree with is with people saying it was robbery because
Nah.
it was a razor thin fight, so it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just
Uh,
thought Ray's like for me, I would say like 55% sure he won the fight, but when you're fighting the champion, you have to take it out of the scorecard because yeah, in that fifth round, like you're tired, and he was kind of trying to evade John Jones, but
yeah,
I think if he just that's why they called them the championship rounds. Like if he had just committed to sticking here and there, he might have won the judges over, but who knows? The
yeah,
judges weren't even watching the fight.
yeah. And they called him out on it, right? How
Yeah,
embarrassing is that?
Joe Rogan called him out like during I forget which fight it was, but he was like, I'm watching the judges and they're looking down at the floor. They're not even watching the fight. And he like continued to commentate on it during the live fight. So that was really embarrassing.
Yeah, that's really embarrassing. So I don't think the commission will probably assign that judge for a wee while. But yeah, just going back to the Jones and Reyes fight, I think for me, the swing rounds were rounds 2 and 3. Round one, 4 and 5 were pretty definitive. So the
Yep.
first round was obviously Dominic Reyes, and
Yep.
then the championship rounds is where I thought John Jones' experience really shone through.
Yep.
And he was all over Reyes in rounds 4 and 5. So 2 and 3 were the really close rounds, and you could swing them either way. they could have swung either way, and that's where I see, where people are having a lot of disagreements.
Yeah,
So the guy, the judge, even though he had a poor night overall throughout
yeah,
the whole UFC event, but the judge that put it as 49-46, like I don't agree with that, but I can see how he saw it that way because 2 and 3 were so close. So
yeah,
if you gave it to John Jones, then and 4 and 5's guaranteed Jones rounds, then that makes it 4-1 to Jones. Like I didn't have it that way. I thought Jones won rounds 2, 4, and 5,
yeah,
but yeah, it was
yeah. I gave
yeah,
5.
yeah. The thing with Reyes was he came up firing in the first 2 rounds, and I
Yeah,
knew he wouldn't be able to sustain that pace.
yeah,
And yeah, and he just doesn't have that championship experience that John Jones has. Like this is that was Jones' 14th championship fight.
yeah.
Yeah, compared to Reyes' first. So,
Okay.
just dealing with those championship rounds is a whole nother animal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully he learns from it, and hopefully there's been such an uproar over the result. People saying that there should be an immediate rematch. My only problem with rematches is that John Jones, being from arguably one of the best fight camps, he just always dominates in every rematch he has.
Yeah,
Like they just learn so much from the first fight that the second fight's like a no contest.
yeah, for sure. We saw it in the Gustafson
Yeah, that's
rematch
the biggest.
where, yeah, well, it was a really close fight the first time, and then the second one he just dominated him.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I don't care too much for a rematch because I don't imagine that it would be very close.
But when looking at John Jones, his last 3 fights against Anthony Smith, what's it? The Brazilian guy. Is it? I can't remember his name now. I forgot it. Is it Santos? Someone, yeah. But the Brazilian guy, and now Reyes,
Yeah,
he's kind of put on average performances by his
yeah,
standards.
his standards. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
by his standards. So all decision wins, but he hasn't really looked too good in him. Do you think it's the division, the light heavyweight division, catching up to John Jones, or is John Jones starting to lose a step?
I think it's USADA.
Oh, haters gonna hate, man. But,
You
hey,
saw the way
yeah.
he ran back to his locker room after the fight.
Hey, man. If it was USADA, man, he wouldn't be defending these titles, man. He wouldn't have the strap. But yeah,
Well, roided up John Jones didn't even have to get to the judges. So it's
look,
a
man. Look, man. Didn't you see on UFC Embedded and John Jones' Instagram where he's like having prayers before training, going to church, singing his Christian songs and that? Come on, man. John
yeah.
Jones wouldn't do steroids.
He's
He's a
praying
good
he
man.
doesn't get caught.
Hey?
He's praying that he doesn't get caught. Full credit to him. He outpoint Ray's. I mean it's controversial, but yeah, I think he done enough to hang on to his bout with the champion bias that you kind of have to almost get finished to lose the bout.
Yeah, so I mean, he's cleared out the division once again. I think
Yeah,
it's time for him to move up to heavyweight.
yeah. Well, fingers crossed he does and stops calling out middleweights. People have been asking him to go up to heavyweight for years and years now, but as soon as one middleweight says his name, he's all over that.
Hey man, you want to prick the line, alright?
Hey, plenty of heavyweights have done worse. Have poked the line more. But he's not responding at all to that.
Chuck him in the lion's den, man. Chuck him in the lines, yeah, man. He's gonna show you what the goat's all about.
Well, hey, Adesanya did say 2021 International Fight Week. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, you got to get through Romero first, which I
Yeah,
think he
true.
will. But yeah,
True. Yeah, but yeah, that'll be a good one. All right, we'll move into the NFL offseason, which might go down as the offseason of the quarterback.
yeah. So much drama. Has it always been like this? I can't really remember previous off seasons, but it's just yeah, there's so much drama around the quarterbacks
I feel like
coming into this off season.
in the last few years, both the NFL and NBA, like every offseason, every trade deadline, like there's just so much happening. Like I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
recency bias or
Oh, I think it's two things. Well, out of everything, like these are the biggest factors in my opinion. Is one is social media.
yeah.
We're in the age where yeah, so everything is reported on social media. Everyone gives their 2 cents
Hmm.
on those platforms as well, and
Yep.
then also yeah, just the media and the narratives that they're looking to drive.
Yep.
It's always about drama. They always look for um stories where there's a bit of um, yeah, a bit of friction within locker rooms, and, and you're seeing it now with there's rumors about friction in the Clippers locker room, and then also you've got Philly, and
Yep.
they're gonna go to town with Embiid's latest Instagram post, which I think was wrong on his behalf, but
Yep.
that's just the way it goes.
What did he say in his latest post?
He said, "Oh man, you can't, I can't remember what did he say."
I forget what it was. Well, you look that up while I have a look at these quarterbacks because we've got 8 well-known quarterbacks in the free agency market,
Uh
and
huh.
how much does that affect the upcoming NFL draft? Quick update actually on the NFL draft.
Hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa had his 3-month check on his hip.
Yeah.
Apparently the bone is fully healed. It doesn't mean he's 100%, but the bone's fully healed, which means he can go back to doing full practices.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get that top five pick. Oops.
Let's go.
Okay, so you said there's 8 quarterbacks. So
8 well-known quarterbacks, yeah.
is so what? There's Philip Rivers,
Yep. Drew
Tom
Brees.
Brady,
Yep.
Drew
Tom Brady.
Brees,
Yep.
Dak Prescott,
Yep.
Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Uh, is the what's it? What's the Raiders quarterback again? I can't
Raiders.
remember his name.
No, not Carr. One of them.
Carr.
One of the quarterbacks made it to the conference finals. Oh, did he? Yeah. Did the Titans make conference finals?
Yes. Oh, yes. That's right. That's right. Tannehill.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tannehill. You've also got Teddy Bridgewater,
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
and then finally Case Keenum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where was he at last season? Was he at the Broncos?
No, I think he was at the Redskins, but he got poached.
Oh, okay. Okay. He's at yeah, and then he lost his job to Haskins, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But now they got Ron Rivera, so hopefully Rivera finds a way to take Newton with him.
No, I want Haskins to succeed, man. So, and he
I
can't
want
do that with
and
Cam Newton uh, being the main star there. So,
that's what I think about the Panthers. So I want him gone.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. You're a hater, man. That guy's a legend, man. He took you guys to the Super Bowl. He
Yeah,
won the MVP for you guys,
yeah, he is, but that's all past tense.
man. All right, it's comeback season. It's comeback season. My boy Cam, he can come to Pittsburgh, man. He's welcome in Pittsburgh.
Hey, take him by all means, please.
Yeah, he just needs to take a pay cut, and, and then he's welcome. So well, okay. So going on to the other quarterbacks, they confirmed Chargers confirmed that they're splitting from Philip Rivers, right?
Yeah,
Do you think? How do you think that is? I think that's wrong of them to do.
you reckon? But
Yeah,
if they don't
for
want him,
franchise agent, and they've got a history of doing this. They did it to Whittle. They
yeah,
forced them out. Um, well, when he didn't want to leave, they did
mm,
it to Antonio Gates, where they cut him and they put on like the whole like thanks Antonio, um, did the whole video tribute. Yeah, thanks Antonio, but we're cutting you. And
yeah,
then Hunter Henry got injured again, so they ended up having to re-sign him for this past season.
yeah.
Yeah, which was a bit embarrassing for them. And then, Antonio Gates decided to retire. But, it's a bit of a pattern with the Chargers organization. And I think someone like Philip Rivers, he
Yeah.
deserves to, play out his career there. You know, just
Well,
draft a quarterback.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
and then have him do his farewell tour.
Yeah. And then, give him the talk, say, hey, like this is your last year of starting, but next year we're moving forward with the kid.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, you can either be a backup or you can retire.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that was the proper way to do it.
yeah, because I mean, in my opinion, even though Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls, Philip Rivers was the better player, in my
Nah,
opinion.
I disagree.
Hey, numbers speak for themselves, but you know,
The numbers are
he,
2 rings versus 0.
look, the passing numbers speak for themselves, man.
Hey, that
Okay,
stats guy. No one cares about regular season stats. That's
hey,
going into Peyton Manning territory now.
don't get me started on this guy Eli Manning, man. Yeah, they're talking about he's one of the great. There was a guy. There was a guy in the media. I can't remember. He works for. I think he works for CBS as an NFL analyst, and he ranked his top 30 quarterbacks of all time, and he had Eli Manning at number 8.
Oof. Yeah, that's a bit high.
Yeah, I just want to smack him through the computer screen, man.
I, I, I generally these days, if the list was made in the last 5 years, I generally don't pay any attention to those rankings. I find a lot of them purposely do controversial picks to try and get conversation going.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, because controversy sells.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Rivers, yeah, I think he deserves farewell tour. So I'm not too sure where he lands, but I hope they treat him a bit better than Chargers organization did.
Well, yeah, they're going to need something, those charges. All right, we'll jump into the NBA trade. Speaking of, team movement, what
Uh-huh.
were some of the NBA trades that piqued your interest?
Oh well, definitely the number one trade for me was the 4-team trade that centered around Covington going to Houston,
Yep.
and Clint Capella ending up at the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that was probably, even though it wasn't the best players weren't involved.
Yep.
Yeah, it piqued my interest the most because of what it meant for the Rockets. So they, I think they do have a center on the roster, but he's not good enough to be playing logging big minutes for the team.
Yep.
So they're committed to having PJ Tucker as their starting center. 6'5",
Yeah,
PJ Tucker.
yeah,
And
that's yeah. 'Cause if I look at well, they got what Tyson Chandler. No, he didn't even play in that last game. They
yeah,
got
they got Tyson Chandler, but he's a walking corpse at this point. So
because they lost to well, the Rockets that is lost to the Jazz yesterday.
yeah, that was unfortunate. Like I didn't put too much stock into that loss. I
But what
thought they
about
played well.
their loss to the Suns then?
Yeah, they didn't play well against. Well, I mean, the thing here is the 3 games that they've played since the trade.
Yeah.
All 3 opposing teams have shot a strong percentage from the field. So
Uh,
yeah, whereas Phoenix they were like ridiculously hot. They shot like mid 50s, mid to late 50s
yeah.
percentage wise from the field, and then they had Kelly Oubre, he's nothing more than a role player.
Yeah.
He'll be nothing more than a role player. Yeah, he went off on them. So um,
Yeah, you do get those odd games, but I thought was it the first game after the trade? Was it the Lakers win?
yeah, they beat the Lakers, which was surprising.
Yeah, because everyone that was that the no, that wasn't the first game since Kobe's passing, was it?
No. Their first game since Kobe's passing was against the Blazers. They lost that too.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, so that was the big trade for you.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how the Rockets fare in the finals without a specialist center, in their
Yeah,
starting anyway.
yeah, for sure.
The
Well,
one that I thought was most interesting was the D'Angelo Russell getting traded
mm,
with other picks, with Evans and Spellman for Wiggins, a first round pick protected, and a 2022 second round pick.
mhm.
Um, I was listening to a Bill Simmons podcast, and something I didn't actually pick up on at the time, but Golden State knew they were going to be losing Kevin Durant last season, and then they somehow did a sign and trade, which for losing a player like Kevin Durant, they've somehow turned it into getting Andrew Wiggins, a first round pick and a second round pick.
Yeah, they did really well.
I mean, that's
So,
good.
and it was a bit of luck on their behalf as well because Kyrie signed with the Nets, and then in order for KD to get a max deal and sign with the Nets, it needed to be a sign and trade. So that's how they got Russell, because since they got Kyrie, they're like, we're not interested in having them as the backcourt.
Yeah.
Obviously, Russell wouldn't want to come off the bench, so they're like, here, have this guy.
Yeah, which is pretty bad GMing. Like normally, Sean Marks is pretty good, but he kind of lowered
Mm,
value on his own asset before trading it away.
yeah. So, I mean, is this trade really a surprise, though? Because this was a rumored trade ever since D'Angelo Russell touched down in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
It was always rumored like he wants to team up with Karl Anthony Towns. Towns wants him here in Minnesota as well. So yeah,
it
I think
was.
this was always going to happen. This was always the plan.
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised that the trade happened. What I'm surprised at is that the Timberwolves bent over backwards to please their overrated star, having a public sook like that. That's only making it worse for NFL. I mean NBA teams going forward. Is that when you've got an overrated superstar having a sook saying, "Oh, I want this player in the team," then
Hmm.
the GMs go out and they make it happen, and they have to it completely messes up with their negotiations because now they've put Wiggins, a first round pick and a second round pick for D'Angelo Russell, like just to please Karl Anthony Towns, and giving up
Yeah,
all of that to get someone that's not even going to really move the needle that much in terms of your wins. Like they got absolutely creamed on that trade.
I think so too because I don't rate D'Angelo Russell too high. I think he can when he's when he's got the hot hand, he can score with the best of them.
Yep.
But defensively, he's trash.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't think, yeah, he's not like overly efficient from the field. So
Yeah.
he's going to be a high volume scorer, but he's going to take a large amount of shots.
Yeah.
Uh, what about Andrew Wiggins? Do you think he can change the narrative of how he's perceived
Nah.
by
I
the
don't.
public?
He doesn't seem like someone that's putting in the work. Like too
Hmm.
many games, he kind of just disappears. And I feel
Yeah.
like he might improve being in a better system where they can make use of his skills, but without the mentality of putting in the work, I think he's always going to be a pedestrian in any team he goes to.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's just gonna still be the same, basically same as D'Angelo Russell, just inefficient chucker.
Yeah.
Uh, but the thing with Andrew Wiggins is he has a lot of defensive potential. He
Yeah.
he was actually a stud defensively
Yeah.
at Kansas.
Yeah. Because he's a
But
crazy athletic.
yeah, he's super athletic. But it's just about does he want to maximize his potential? Does he want to get the most out of his ability? And hopefully Steve Kerr can tap into that, but I
Mhm.
can't really see it. But we'll see.
All right. All right. Well, look. We'll jump into our multis for this week then. Um, we're not going to put in tomorrow's NBA because the pod might not go up tonight. But you were looking at how many, or did you go super heavy on the rugby, or
I went to Super Rugby games.
okay? What did you got? Let
Yeah,
us know.
yo, so man, this is the real money maker. And I'm telling you, man, I apologize for the previous weeks, but I'm telling you, this one is it. This one is it. So the first one is um, T20 cricket on Thursday, South Africa versus England. I got England head to
Nice. I
head.
got the same one. Yeah.
Okay, Super Rugby, Blues versus Crusaders. I'm throwing my policy in the bin
Oh,
about
I was looking forward to this.
betting on my heart. I'm gonna start betting on my head. So right here, I got Crusaders to win by 13 plus.
Oof.
Okay, and the other Super Rugby game, which is Brumbies and Highlanders, I got the Highlanders head to head.
Yep.
I'm backing the boys. Okay,
Under-
UFC, Corey Anderson versus Jan. I didn't even know how to say his surname. Blackowicz, something like that. But bet on that guy because I've got him head to head to beat Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson's chin is suspect, so I expect them to get chin checked this
Yep.
weekend. Okay, and the final leg is NRL Nines 2020. The outright winner, I got the mighty Brisbane Broncos.
They're
Payne
favorites.
Haas. Hmm?
They're the favorites. The Broncos.
No, I think the Eels are. Eels named a strong team, but so did the Broncos. Named a very strong team. So I'm hoping. Let's see how fit Anthony Milford is,
Yep.
and yeah, my boy Payne Haas, and big boy Fafita. Let's see how they go.
Yeah, now you guys got a pretty solid team. Yeah, in my app, I've got the Broncos and the Eels both paying the same price.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, those are my 5 legs, and at $5, the return is $924.
Bam!
Yeah, so unfortunately it's below the 1K mark like before, but this is the best I could do to make sure that you guys make some money. And you guys are rich overnight, man. Oh, actually, over a couple of
Every-
nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come Monday, man, you just go to your betting agency, cash out, be swimming in cash,
Be swimming in 5 cent coins.
straight cash, aren't we?
All right. I've got 7 legs in this multi,
Yeah.
and same as Nathan, I got the same with the T20. I've got England for the head-to-head win, and then for the next cricket game in the New Zealand Ford Cup, I've got Otago Volts to beat Canterbury Kings.
What the?
I actually don't know anything about that. I that in there. Um, for the Super Rugby, I've got 5 games in a row. These are all betting on the line, so I'll try and explain it again. I've got the Crusaders -7.5 versus the Blues. Essentially, what it means is at the end of the game, if you deduct 7.5 from the Crusaders score, will they still win? So, it's saying Crusaders to win by 8 or more. Then I got the Chiefs to smash the Sunwolves, -19.5. So I'm betting for the Chiefs to win by more than 20. Uh,
Hmm.
I've got the Hurricanes against the Sharks. Hurricanes back home, put in a good performance. So I'm thinking that they should get over the line versus the Sharks, -5.5. So I'm guessing they're going to win by 6 points or more. And then the Highlanders, they're underdogs against the Brumbies, but I think they're going to win. I've played it safe and I've taken the line. So Highlanders +6.5, which means that even if they do lose, they'll lose by 6 points or less.
Okay.
And finally, I got the Jaguares to smash the Reds, and I've bet them to win by more than 13.
Okay.
So you put your $5 down, you put in your boost, you put in your coupon Cal sent me, and that's gonna send you up to $404.04.
Oh my gosh, dude, 7 legs in that, man, that's not even half my winnings, man. Don't listen to this guy.
Hey,
It's
hold on,
trash.
you're not winnings, you're potential winnings,
It,
minor
hey,
wins.
it's guaranteed, man. It's straight to the bank, bro. It's straight to the bank. Okay. It's interesting you bet on the Chiefs. I read that they're looking to rest Sam Kane, Cruden, and ALB, and
I
some
did not
Wolves
get them, did not
some
get them.
Wolves beat the Rebels week 1. You never know,
Yeah,
You
and,
never
and
know.
in Japan.
Yeah, it's in Japan. The boys might have jet lag. So, ooh,
It's fucking about
whoever's
that.
listening, man, just be wary of what he's saying, man. His
Look,
multis are very dangerous. Very
I'm the only
dangerous.
look. I don't want to repeat myself every week, but I'm the only one that's won a multi.
How much did you win?
Well, how much did you have you won?
Hey, that wasn't the question, man. Yeah, anyone can win a stink old multi when you're picking all the favorites.
Wasn't all the
But,
favorites.
well, all I know is that the guys that listen to me, they're gonna be $924 richer,
All
minus
right.
$5.
Well, we'll come back next week and we'll see who's laughing and who's $5 poorer.
Okay, that's
Any
good. That's good.
any last words?
No, just make sure you guys place your bet, gamble responsibly, and yeah, we'll catch you guys next week when you know maybe I'll do a video pod. Show all
Ooh.
my cash. Yeah.
All right. Well, from me, last few comments. Yeah, tune in. It's going to be a great week of rugby. Great week for the Nines. Tune in for the cricket games that we have no idea about that we bet on. Um, And then one last thing. If you work in a building and you work on the first floor, don't catch the elevator, you lazy bastard. Take the stairs.
Hey
Uh,
man, if it's there, you take it. If it's there, and level one is an option on the elevator. Look,
yeah.
man, you have every right to take it.
And get that peachy booty.
Don't let this guy bully you into doing thing. Okay,
All right, we out. Thank
go
you for
Broncos.